Okay, I'm here, and I don't have any good news yet. Other than that, I think I lost a bet. I was thinking for sure it would be a quick verdict, and I guess we still can be in that range. Anything inside 3 hours, I think, is a quick verdict. But we thought for a second that there was going to be a question. That the jury had a question. They were going to bring something up to the court, maybe to have some clarification, maybe to get some evidence rolled back, assuming it was the tire, rolled back into the jury deliberation room. Had a nice dinner. It was wonderful. It was like a lasagna. I don't even know what the name was. Some ziti. It was delicious. It has like a little crumb topping. A kind of cheese I'd never had before. It was delicious. But it was good. Unfortunately, the news out of the courtroom is that the juries might be seeing this sign right here before we see them. They might be leaving. I don't know. We're waiting anxiously to hear. Let's see. Oh, apparently TikTok wants me to post something live right now, or else I can't see what my friends are doing. They're going to have to wait because I'm not going to do that. Appreciate you guys being here. We were watching. I appreciate the updates. I was looking. Law and Crime said, "Hey, there's a question. Jury has a question," and then they never went on the record. So we don't know if the jury withdrew the question or if they just handled the question off the record. Because if they didn't go on the record, then the camera's not allowed to be turned on. So it's a little bizarre. Boo to them leaving. I don't know if they're leaving. The judge might say, "Hey, if you guys can pull this off by 9 p.m., I'll write it out," type thing. Because right now it's only, it's approaching 6 o'clock down in Texas, which is, I think this chat has single-handedly increased the burger consumption in the United States and beyond. But anyway, I was going to say, when I came back, scroll to the top of the chat, and I see that TW has tried to hide all evidence of him ever being a first in chat, which he was, but he retracted his bid and thus left Golden Mom right here yet again with the internet. He dumped it unceremoniously upon her lap. She thought she was safe. She's like, "Hey," we're probably responding to TW. TW's like, "Hey, Golden Mom, how are you doing?" She was like, "Hey," and then he's like, boom, just bait and switch, and now she's stuck with the internet probably all night. Congratulations on winning the internet, Golden Mom, for being first in chat. It has its privileges and also its drawbacks, as you know, having won the internet numerous times before. Sunny Florida Mom, welcome. I haven't seen that name before, but welcome. This is a fun place. I'm glad you found us. You'll find that you have friends here in chat and here on my side of the camera as well. Hope you enjoy your stay and come back often. Wendy's Burger, not quite a Whataburger, but close. Grumpy Cat says hi, just dropped by to say former Theranos COO Sunny Balwani was sentenced to almost 13 years of prison for defrauding investors and patients. Grumpy Cat, that's bizarre. That's a crazy case. That's a crazy case. Golden Mom, you got set up. It was very much so, very much. So here's what we're at. Anne's in Florida as well. Welcome, Anne. I've been following chat as I sat here at my desk, polishing off the remainder of my food. No, I ate with the family, actually. Sat down at the table, had a proper dinner, like a good old American family we are. Enjoyed it. My wife made some yummy, yummy food. I apologize for being late, Debbie. I did realize that I put a timestamp on there of on the going live, but it required me to put one. I couldn't just say I'm going to go live in the future sometime. I have to say when. And I was guessing when the jury would come back with the verdict, and I guessed wrong. I guessed incorrectly. With that being said, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, thinking I was going to come back at any moment. Check the burner. Weather Watch, I just saw a message come in from you. Let me take a quick peek. Oh man, already just as the picture loaded, I recognized the label color and the location of the brand's name. Weather Watch sitting at the station. Hey, let me. This is brilliant. Let me airdrop this to myself. Of course, now it won't let me airdrop it to myself. Why is that a thing? Come on. Am I on some? Oh, there we go. Just took a minute to find my laptop. I could see 3 other Apple devices, which I'm using, but not the one I needed it on. Show in Finder. This will be a little tricky. I need to turn off this switcher, turn on this one. I'll tell you, the things I go through, I'm working overtime right now to make this happen, just so you know. TW, that was your first post. Your winning of 17 dimes exposed to the IRS. So you were hiding evidence for tax purposes. Now I understand. It wasn't that you didn't want to win the internet. It's that you were afraid the IRS monitors the chat, which they probably do, and would definitely flag you for that that massive win. And congratulations, by the way, on winning $1.70. Okay, loading ATEM software control. It's not launching. So I'm going to have to do ghetto style, which I hate doing, being a tech guy. But this right here, this is Weather Watch with, let's go full screen so that you can even see it. With Pickles and his green screen. The green on your screen is greened out, but he's holding pickles, and not just any pickles. Those appear to be, if we zoom in here, oops, that got really big really fast. We'll try that one more time. Here we go. They appear to be spicy maple bourbon, Sam's Choice pickles. But you have the whole pickle. No. Yours is sliced. I can't tell. Is that sliced and whole or just sliced? I had just sliced. But yours looks like there's a whole pickle there at the top, which, I mean, lucky you. That would be amazing. Maybe it's just the way the camera picked that up. I hope you enjoy them as much as I did. And if you did say in chat already, please forgive my ignorance. I have not been following closely. Let's see. I hope you like them. Do give them a taste. I will say they're better cold, and granted, they're not refrigerated off the shelf typically. Jill Klein says this line can't be good. Yeah, I imagine at this point someone has questions. I'm not saying there's a holdout. I'm not saying that they're a hung jury, but somebody is not convinced. It would probably be. It would probably have to go through tomorrow for me to understand, to say that there's a holdout. There's somebody who's not going to budge. Spicy with whole jalapenos. Yes. They do have a whole, I think they were chili peppers. Into the fridge they go. It's a good place for them. Give them a nice little chill and just tell me if they aren't the perfect pickle. A little bit of heat. I'll say there's a little bit of heat on them, and it'll creep up on you, especially if you pop a few in your mouth at once. Do you think pickles expire? I keep them from years. It's like a good wine, right? It just gets better over time. Good evening, everyone. Is there a verdict? Wombat Mommy, no. We're watching closely, and no, we thought we were going to have a jury question, but it didn't come in. Nothing on the Twitter bird. There's all sorts of political news out if you're into that sort of thing, but we won't get into that on this channel. Nothing happening. Now I'm craving the pickle slushy again. Pickle slushy. Trudge on. That sounds fantastic. How could someone not be convinced? Possibly they might have really heard the defense argument and it resonated with them. I mean, it could. Has the jury made any requests? We heard they did, but Law and Crime said, hey, the jury's got a question. And then the next tweet we heard from Law and Crime was they never went on the record with the question. And it needs to be on the record for the camera to be turned on for us to get audio. So it's possible they handled it off the record. But that's not very helpful to us. We don't know if it was a question about the forms. We don't know if it's a question about a certain piece of evidence. If they wanted to watch a part of a video again, like all the 12 disc box set. I mean, if they wanted that, then of course we would be saying, hey, I'll see you tomorrow or maybe on Monday. Yuck, Mac. When the juice gets fuzzy, I throw them out. Only if the fuzz gets away and you can't reach the pickles. You know, if the jar grabs the pickle and pulls back, that's when they're no longer good. Anyway, so we don't know what the question was. And really, that question really would have given us a ton of insight into the mind of the jury, where they're at. Like with DB, when they had questions in DB's case as well, but they were quick. They got a piece of evidence and immediately, boom, and now on to the next thing. You know, it was like it was fast. Recovery, do you like pickling in general, like Swedish salad or kimchi? I will say a resounding no on the kimchi. Not a fan here. But Swedish salad, I have never tried. I will say I have not tried kimchi either. I've only smelt it, and that was enough for me. That was equivalent to trying in my book. So I'm checking it off my bucket list. I'm about to eat a pickle after these dirt roads. Good morning, Cake Spoo. Good to have you. How is life in Australia? Hopefully wonderful. It might be harder than we think to come to a verdict. Ginger, I think that's what we're seeing. Law and crime, let me just show you what we have here. This is the camera. So we know people are still in the courtroom because they're blocking the camera angle, but we're not getting any sound, which means the judge is not there. But yeah, I just want to know what's happening. Oh, here's a new angle they hadn't been showing before. That was a mistake. It's like a hot mic, but it's a hot camera. We'll take it. Thank you. What can sour sauerkraut? What can sour sauerkraut? Probably like milk, then it like curdles or something. If this chat's poll was accurate, 88% guilty, there's one juror holding out at least. Yeah, mathematically, that's where we're at. Okay, we've got something happening. KSAT just took this feed. This is live. So something's coming up, whether it's a juror question or something. We're starting to see signs of life. Let me make sure we get audio on input 3. Hot mic.
All right.
Here we go. Something's happening. Whether it's calling it for the day or what, I'm not sure. That echo is my fault. Looks like the flirty bailiff is there, ready to do her duties as she's demonstrated before. Lost the audio. I'm listening to 2 streams of audio simultaneously. Oh, so KSAT's giving us audio. Law and crime is not. Ken's 5 has just completely dropped this case. It just fell off the radar for them. All rise, you may be seated, and then the judge left. I think he forgot his robe. He was unrobed, and now he's come back out robed. That's what it is. Did I just hear verdict, Pauline? Let's see. No, not yet. It's either going to be a question or maybe an announcement that we're wrapping for the day. Almost missed it. I don't think it's the verdict. I really don't. I think right now we've just got a hot mic. That's pretty much all we're dealing with. Verdict in for Juan David Ortiz. I know it shows that. Is that right? I mean, I put that on my basically on the description of the video when I said we're going to go live if there's a verdict. But maybe they would have just prepped that like I did, because now they went back to jury deliberating. And so KSAT might be calling it. It's early because we have not heard yet. I'm going to keep the audio up from both this feed as well as for Law and Crime. So we're going to have a little bit of a duplicate feed as we try to listen and hear something what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Law and Crime just to see if anything's happening. Tell you what, let's take a super source. Boom, let's go that way. Now we can watch both of them. That's where I heard verdict. Okay, so the question is, did they make a mistake? Did they take it off the screen because their lower third was incorrect? Somebody got a little anxious because I haven't seen it. It would have been announced by Law and Crime, I think, on their Twitter, as they have people in the courtroom. Something should be out, and it's not. So I think KSAT was just false alarmed us. What in the world is going on in the courtroom? Good question. They said all rise, and then the judge walked back out into his chambers. We heard you may be seated. KSAT took it live because they said all rise. As soon as the judge is there, they can start playing the audio. We got a little bit of a hot mic incident, just from some general chatter, nothing really juicy. You heard verdict on hot mic. Can somebody go back and verify that, Pauline? I'm not questioning that. I'm just wondering if somebody can go back and hear if it was a question or if it was saying they have reached a verdict or have they reached a verdict. I think the tire is playing everybody, says Ginger. That tire is up to something. You can see it's got a few more miles on it than the rest of the tires, right? You notice that? This is nerve-wracking. Yeah, I'm supposed to be somewhere about 2 minutes ago. But that's not happening right now. Bringing their robes. Is it true you wickedly use scissors to open certain parts of their normally unseen portions to embarrass them on national TV? That would be so bad. What are you talking about, C.B. Clark? What is that? What did I just read? Obviously, I should pre-read it before I just talk. I'm like Ron Burgundy that way. If it's on the teleprompter, I say it. I thought I heard verdict in also, says Anne. I can barely see you. I'm very small. I'm very small, Debbie. But I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. I could probably find a different version. Let's see. Let's play with how the boxes look a little bit since we have time. Nope, not that one. How about that one there? I'm still the same size, but that's all. Please start designing mugs for Sarah Boone. Not intentional. Patty, I'm going to write that down. We probably will need a Sarah Boone mug just because that's going to be an amazing trial. Okay. All right. Honey, I Shrunk the Recovery Addict. I'm small, but I'm here, Charlie. That should count for something. Thought I heard one of the defense lawyers say the word verdict, but without context. I don't know what it means. If it's a verdict, I think it would be a guilty. Because I don't think you could have 12 united people say not guilty at this point. I think it would be just completely unreasonable to think that all 12 are no guilty, especially when you look at our unofficial but binding poll that we took in chat during the last live. 88% of us, which is a representation of society to some extent, obviously not for that regional area, but 88% of us think that if he did it, that he's guilty. So someone hollered guilty and he did it from the gallery. Small but with a big heart. Thank you, Cakespoo. That's what matters, really. I can be larger. I mean, let me just show you what I can do here. I can be like big like that, but we'll go back to where I was, nice and small. Defense lawyer said no verdict after coming out of the chambers. I just listened back. I heard either got a verdict or not a verdict, so it's not very helpful. It's one of the two words. It's either yes or no, and I don't know which one. Sarah Boone suitcase line. Yeah, we need a full line of products, like and a suitcase set. Yeah, like get your own Sarah Boone baggage here, and you could get it either with or without the open from the inside feature. I don't think it was a false alarm because the judge said, they said all rise, right? So the judge was about to come out and do something, but he took 3 hours just to get his little message to the jury right this morning. I'm wondering if he needs another 3 hours to announce they have a question. We'll be in trouble. I am small, but I have a huge heart and a huge bladder, apparently. So not a concern right now. We took care of all business. Verdict just tweeted, breaking, verdict reached in Texas via Juan Ortiz. So we've got two sources who are calling it now. This coming from Law and Crime Verdict. I can't see this being anything other than a full sweep of guilty. With just let's see, show the timer, 3 hours and 30 minutes, 3 hours and 29 minutes right now. The verdict was in, so 3.5 hours. Basically, they didn't quite beat Darrell Brooks, right? Because he was just under 3 or something. Hey, Sanita, I missed your message. I saw you retracted it. Don't be ashamed. We're all friends here. Go ahead and ask your question. Two sources is good. Love this channel, says Lindsay. Hey, I love that you're here. Verdict is probably in, and the judge is just late again. So I heard it wrong. We're just playing hide and seek. We need a hide and seek line of baggage. That's what it is. But think of the liability. I mean, honestly, if I were to release a line of suitcases that were designed to put people inside, I would be broke. I would be sued off the earth. I bet the jury took an hour to eat. I think that's probably right. We won't know until I guess they talk afterwards. Sarah Boone pens and pads. Maybe a Dr. Pepper. She likes Dr. Pepper as well, right? It's for like an after murder drink. It's the perfect after. Dr. Pepper would sue me for sure if I did that. Obviously, I can't use their logo on any of my merchandise. It's got to be guilty, but more shocking things have happened, right? I don't see. We're in Texas, okay? First of all, we're in Texas. This is not a Florida jury. This isn't a California jury. I would expect this one to be a guilty. Watch out for the steps, Sarah Boone. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Anyone that knows enough about Sarah Boone trial? Is that in Hillsborough County? Yes, Tom. I can give you some information about that. Sarah Boone is in Orange County. So if you want to look at the documents, let me actually give you a link here. If you're curious, and you should be curious, right? So check the chat right here. I'm about to paste it now. This link I just gave you right there is the link to the search page from Orange County where you can pull up Sarah Boone's trial. So you have to go through the search and you have to basically put in Sarah Boone's name, right? And spell it right and everything. And you can search for her case. Once you find her case, you can pull up all the documents, all the filings, because Florida is like an open book when it comes to court filings. Almost everything is public unless it's been sealed for some reason. And it's virtually free. Other states charge an arm and a leg for every single page of a document, which is super frustrating. But let's see. Pat Boone, the crooner. Oh, you're in Orange County, says Ed. Sarah Boone is too stupid to watch. I think it'll be interesting because of the intent issue. How far can she push this intent, and can the defense convince a jury where the line of intent is? Because I think they're going to try to say it's much further beyond where the prosecution says it is. Is it all ironic that Boone will face a lawsuit and a legal case for her suitcase murder? Yes, it is funny. I caught that little play on words. Can I get my cigarettes, Sarah Boone? Because it took 2.5 hours to fill out 79 charges of paperwork. Right, well, they did have a lot more paperwork to do in DB's case. Is Matthew Harris here? Matthew Harris is not here that I've seen yet. we did expect everyone to expect Casey to be guilty. I did. I'll say that. A lot of us expected it to be a guilty verdict, at least initially. And when it came back as not guilty, I was blown away. Who is the famous Boone? Are you talking like the early explorer, like Daniel Boone? Because I've never heard of him. I want to see his sad and sorry face when it is announced. We'll hopefully show both footage as it happens. Also, Pat Boone, Daniel Boone. There we go. I'm way behind in chat. Sometimes I scroll up and I go back like an hour in time. It's like a time machine. Can someone leave with a trail of Whataburgers to the bench to get the judge in? Or waters. He can be bribed with water. All he needs is a good water. Okay. So if the verdict's in, what's the time frame for the announcement? Verdict's in, but then how long do we have to sit here and wait for the judge to do his hair? Okay, so now we just got the verdict just tweeted, now hearing the jury sent out a follow-up note saying no verdict yet, waiting for confirmation. That was 1 minute ago. So they mistweeted. It's really bad when Law and Crime tweets a big thing like verdict in, and it's not. If that's the case, it's completely different. If that's the case, I think what happened is they saw KSAT's feed, which was posted, their lower third, which was premature. Probably an intern is getting fired over that. They saw that feed and said, "Oh, somebody must know, or go ahead and tweet it out. We want to be first." They tweeted it out, so we have the second confirmation from a second media source. KSAT pulled their original, but it was too late for Law and Crime, and now they're trying to, scramble, saying who was it that we quoted type thing, and no. They are just messing with us, Katrina. You're absolutely correct. Which is a crime in most states. No, it's a follow-up. I'm just trying to see what it was. Because 7 minutes ago they said they had a verdict, and now 2 minutes ago they say the jury sent out a follow-up note saying no verdict yet, waiting for confirmation. Oh, so the jury sent out the first note saying we've got a verdict, and then they said, wait, sorry, we forgot there's 6 charges, not just 4. Maybe that's it. So it is probably a paperwork issue at this point. So the jury sent out a note saying we don't have a verdict. That's what it was. They're trolling us. Yeah, Lindsay, I do follow what they do. They do have some of the quickest tweeters on the planet when it comes to crime. So they do have great sources for that. I'm not a big fan of their live stream, but yeah. So let's see. Confirmation of what? How to spell something? How to sign your name? Which page they sign? I'm afraid I have 3 straight phone calls. I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. It was a verdict tease. No, I've never heard that from you, Lil Miss. It surprises me. That was cruel. But they may be more accurate. I believe the verdict probably is just about out. Like they're about ready, which means they probably will have it tonight. Let's see. Tyre is guilty of clickbaiting about the verdict. The Tyre may have sent that tweet. But what that tells us, what we do know, what we can ascertain from the little messages we do have, is that the jury is still in deliberations tonight. That they haven't gone home, which I don't think they can do without the judge excusing them for the day. They're sort of locked in that room. Is it illegal to bribe a bailiff? I know they've sworn an oath, but is it illegal for us to give the bribe if they willingly accept it and give us information? Just asking for a friend. Have the judge review your work and say, let's get on with it already. The judge won't review it until he's in court. If there are problems with the paperwork, he will see it once it's first handed to him. He'll flip through all the pages, and if there's a problem, he'll note it then and address the jury and hand them the paperwork back, and then we'll go from there. It's funny because Law and Crime's live chat is full of people who are furious. They're like, you said the verdict was in, and now you're saying it's not. Do we use an X or a check mark? It's a simple question, really. So now they've pinned a note in Law and Crime's chat saying, Eddie, who's one of the mods, says, Law and Crime Network, standby, might not be a verdict. Oh, man. If there's a verdict, then yes. If there's not a verdict, then no. I'm not sure about the sentencing, actually. I take that back. Somebody tell me, once again, in Wisconsin, we know that the jury does not determine the sentence. All we know in the Texas part of this trial is that in this phase of the trial, the jury is not to consider what the penalty would be for any particular verdict. That doesn't mean they don't consider it, and they might in the future determine the verdict. It just means that they're not supposed to consider that in their deliberations. That's not supposed to be something they weigh, saying, well, we don't want them to go to prison for life. No, that's out of the picture altogether. It may be that the judge is completely the determiner of the sentence, like Judge Darrow was, but it might also be that the jury can at least guide that. Court TV reported it, now reporting differently. Everybody fell for it, right? MB says, the truck search is bothering me. You know, I can go back and forth on that one, MB. There are some lights I can see it that, yeah, that might be a concern, but there are other lights where another perspective is that the officers knew about Erica. They had her story. She'd already told them what happened. They said, I was assaulted in this truck, gave the description. They knew who the person was. They had all that information. So when they found the truck, it matched the description that was be on the lookout for. And they identified the individual and said, is that your truck? And he said, yes. So they basically have a probable cause at that point to search for that crime, right? A crime that occurred in that vehicle, where they know that, her shirt may be. And it was. Discord posted the link from Court TV. Let me take a look at that. Trying to find Mr. Juan David Ortiz. There's too much information here. Juan David Ortiz, there we go. Oh, those are the wrong one. There we go. The jury question was they wanted to see his confession. They're watching his confession? Which disc? Please tell me they asked for a specific disc and not the whole box set. Weatherwatch says, sent a Gmail your way from a law firm in Texas that discusses legal searches. From what I gathered, no warrant needed for this truck search. That's what I feel. But at the same time, I imagine you could find another law firm in Texas that would feel the opposite way. That's how that's why we have court. So it really has to be determined in the courtroom, I guess, in some situations. The jury is complaining the disc is not Blu-ray. DMB, this is what we're getting at. If they're watching the confession one more time, it's going to be a late night. Guess who's back? Back again. Matthew Harris Law. Welcome. We thought we had a verdict. I think Law and Crime tweeted there was a verdict. I know they did. KSAT published a lower third with a live courtroom view with audio, a little bit of hot mic, saying there was a verdict. But we're seeing now instead, well, I rarely see this, but the verdict note was confirmed by multiple people before I reported. Now we're hearing a buzz in the courtroom that there is a follow-up note that says no verdict yet. I haven't confirmed that second note yet, but we could be in for more waiting. That's from Court TV. Law and Crime said there was a verdict. Yeah, so Matthew, since you're down there in Texas, can you just truck over there to San Antonio and just burst in there into the judge's courtroom? Let him know who you are, so he'll obviously welcome you back there. And just get the skinny on what's happening and let us know. That would be great. They wanted to see the interrogation earlier, not now. So that was the first one. Disc 7 requested. Hopefully just disc 7. That's where most of the confession is, I believe. How did your case go, Matthew? That's a great question. How's everything in your world, professionally speaking? I'm asking. I'm basically saying, are you grinning from ear to ear because you got every penny you asked for, or will you be in the welfare line tonight, looking for food, or somewhere in the middle? I guess it doesn't have to be one of the two extremes. They're like, we'd like to see the remaining 4 discs. Or 5 discs, 8 through 12, please. The Whataburger needs to be consumed. This courtroom has swinging doors. It does. Color Me Abstract comes in with the Tom Dooley hung. No, sorry, Court TV said it. Just AC wasn't on. Spent 5 hours on the stand testifying. Probably to receipts, right? To time, to records of time worked and receipts. That sounds absolutely gripping, Matthew. You're rich now, right? That's pretty much how it works. You spend 5 hours, and now you as an expert witness, hopefully you're billing for those hours for testimony. I would not take a penny less than $400 or $500 an hour, Matthew. That's a minimum. Did you get a numb bum? Did you get a break? Comfort break? 5 hours on the stand. Hopefully the judge had pity on you. You're like, Your Honor, I know we just were seated, but I need to go again. Yeah, the circus has continued. Matthew Harris says, I'll head over and have a chat with the judge. It's about a 3-day ride from West Texas. Well, Matthew, if you take a car instead of your horse, it may be a little faster. I've got a family that periodically drive to Texas, and it is a long drive. It's a long flight flying over Texas, even over, just a bisection of it without the full border-to-border full width. Let's see. No water bottles for you. It's like, I'd appreciate it. Katrina would appreciate it if nobody even drinks water when she's on the stand as a witness, because that will trigger her. Hey, Bama. I think that's Bama as in Alabama ma. Judging from your shirt and your logo, I think you're an Alabama fan or an Alabama resident. Michelle says, recovery addict, you may have heard there was a mistrial in the other Texas case. Do you know why, or does Matthew know? Are you talking about the Aaron Dean case? There was a mistrial in that one. I thought the prosecution rapped on that one, that they arrested. With friends like y'all, I'm beyond wealthy. Truer words have never been spoken, Matthew. This is a good group to be friends with. I guess a litter box would not be appropriate. You know, with Katrina, you could argue that it is. So you guys are saying, yes, it was a mistrial? We're talking about Aaron Dean, right? Aaron Dean trial. I think last I heard the prosecution arrested, they're going to take 2 days off. So they get a long weekend, which I'm not sure why. Is there a holiday coming up that I'm not familiar with? What holiday is, I mean, pretty much it's just Christmas, right? Hanukkah and Christmas? Court TV reported a mistrial. Well, Court TV, I think, also reported that we have a verdict, which we don't. About some puzzle pieces on the mug. Wasn't that what they were doing before hide and seek? Yeah, but that might be too obscure a reference. We need to have something that really just screams Sarah Boone. Weather Watch. I had to read this one twice because I was completely caught on the first part. The verdict is in, and these are some of the best pickles I've ever had. They are amazing. For those that don't know, Weather Watch went out and, upon my my glowing recommendation, purchased his very own jar of spicy maple bourbon pickles, and has just given him the first taste test, and he's a fan. It is amazing. It's not too sweet. It's got a little bit of heat to it. I mean, probably too much for maybe some kids, but not so much that it's, like regret I ate this item. It's not like the one chip challenge by any means. Now, if you eat the chili pepper that is included in there, you may have some regret because that's got some fire to it. I took a little nibble, and that was warm. It was really warm. Takes 8 hours to drive Utah north to south, 12 hours Nebraska east to west. It takes me an hour and a half to get to the beach. That's the important one. Fort Worth Startlegram newspaper says state rests and nothing about anything else. That's from 1 hour ago. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. I don't think it was a mistrial. I believe I'm sure the defense probably raised the issue of mistrial when they had people live streaming from their phones in court. I think that was probably raised. Does anyone know if these pickles are available in Utah? We're talking about the Sam's Choice brand. I found them at Walmart, but that doesn't mean they're available everywhere. Sam's Choice brand. They are spicy maple bourbon pickles. Fantastic. They really should be a sponsor of the show. Maybe can somebody contact them, because it would look sort of weird if I were to do it. Plus, I would just be like, I would be like gushing because I'm such a pickle fan. If I was actually on the phone with the pickle company, I'd be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to talk to you." It would be embarrassing. But if I could have maybe Matthew Harris act as my go-between and contact Sam's Choice and say, "Hey, just so you know, there's a really good fit for an advertising option for you." And his price is reasonable. He just wants a lifetime supply of pickles plus a few $1 million, and you've got a brand ambassador for life. MB says, I didn't get Weather Watcher's comment till you read it. I really thought the verdict was in and he likes pickles. He did that on purpose. The commas led me to believe that he was joking. Hola, we will convert you. Hang around here for long enough, and we will convert you for sure. I'm not sure. I consume them so fast. I'm not sure if it's a Sam's Club. Is Sam's Choice a Sam's Club brand? Because I didn't find them at Sam's Club. Now I'm really curious. Sam's Choice spicy, or Spocky, I should probably spell it right. Spicy maple bourbon. I can see there's a YouTube video out there with somebody, another pickle connoisseur who's talking about them. He made a YouTube video about them. Fresh pack pickle chips. Looks like you can get them on Cold Trades as well. Sam's and Walmart. Yeah, it's the same company. I'm just not sure if Sam's Choice is the Sam's Club brand. I don't follow that close enough. Let's see. I'm looking on the back of the label. Distributed by Walmart stores. So yeah, it's a Walmart brand of pickle, which means they should have it everywhere. I mean, if Walmart makes it, they can ship it to everywhere. They might be in Salt Lake City. Do you do the full pickle on sandwiches or sliced? I prefer to have sliced on a sandwich, but I'll do full pickle on the side. I mean, it's not a quantity of pickle issue. It's just a full pickle makes it difficult to eat the sandwich without losing some of the other ingredients. You would swear we're all pregnant. Okay. Matthew Harris says, here's the plan. You slip and fall in Walmart, we'll sue, then settle for a lifetime supply of spicy pickles. Deal. So it is Walmart that would have to sponsor me, is basically what we're getting at. That might be a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure if I would want Walmart as a sponsor. Just from how they treat the suppliers, I'm not sure if that would be a good look for me. Sam's Club brand is Kirkland. That's it. Weather Watch. Thank you. So this is a Walmart brand, Sam's Choice. Sam Walmart, right? Walmart brand is great value. That's the generic. Sorry, I got tripped up over that word. I really wanted to say it really badly and I messed it up. The Walmart is generic, is great value, but I think they have like a premium brand, and that's Sam's Choice. Ola says, I just want to check. We're all watching Recovery Addicts silently Googling for spicy maple bourbon pickles. We are all doing that. All of us. Yes, we are, Ola. And none of us have a problem with that except for you. But I'm telling you, pickles are good. And they make true crime even better if you have pickles with it. And now I'm probably going to have to buy some of those on the way home tonight, if I ever get to my meeting, which started 30 minutes ago. I'd like to see like the Google search history, like in the internet, for people searching for these pickles, and like why are these bourbon pickles trending? Why is this going ape for some reason? Is the verdict reached? Logs W. Great question. First of all, thanks for being here. We don't know. KSAT, one of the television stations that's been airing this trial from gavel to gavel, was first to come out and announce, and we were showing it on our stream I can show you this box right here. This was their stream. They took a live feed, and on the bottom third, like sort of parallel just off to the side of my face over that direction, there was a lower third that says verdict is in, basically. It said it was happening. And then Law and Crime tweeted out on Twitter, the verdict's in. And I think Court TV even had something about the verdict. And so we're like, yay, verdict's in. And then they said, wait, the jury just sent another note saying, but the verdict isn't in. But they did send a note, and we're not sure what. Sam Walton, not Sam Walmart. Rowdy Girl, thank you for the correction. The Walton family is the beginners, the originators of the Walmart brand. Wall as in Walton. Mart as in market, I guess. Tom, they are sweet pickles, but they're not very sweet. It's just the perfect mix. Like if you don't like sweet pickles because they're too sweet, the combination with the little heat from the chili peppers it sort of offsets it. It's like an experience you've never had before. So Golden Girl and Ola might just get voted off the island here soon. Talking heresy. and hearsay probably as well. I drove up Pickle Futures. I'm available for hire if you have an industry that's floundering. I can talk about it on my show and change your futures. Apparently, they reached for the verdict, but they couldn't quite reach it. This is probably the most accurate description of what the jury may have done tonight. If it was just a question, and some people are now saying that they wanted to see his confession again. Oh, my goodness. If they want to see his confession, the question is coercion, right? What else would there be? Because, I mean, the story is exactly what he says he did. Do we have a coercion holdout, or maybe a jury that's convinced that it was coercion for the confession? Who put the verdict on the top shelf out of reach of the jury? Apparently they're all short, and nobody has a ladder or a bucket or something. Maybe if one will get on the other person's shoulders, it will work. I don't know if having an unsliced pickle as a sponsor might not be a good look or logo pick. I suggest sliced for the pick, or you may attract unwanted subs. Lee here, you can see our logo here. You can see what that one is, and that has a pickle on it, predominantly featured. We do have another picture from Stephen Lee, the same graphic artist who created this item for us, but he made that one, and it's an OnlyFans advertisement for a non-existent recovery addict OnlyFans page. But he says it's like regular OnlyFans, but with more pickles. So maybe that's the crowd we would attract. Mississippi Raptors and Reptiles, good evening. You didn't miss anything, but we don't know what we have on our hands right now. We've been teased by every channel out there that something's about to happen, and it hasn't. Let's see, it's too spicy for most pickle drink juicers or pickle juice drinkers. I did not drink the pickle juice of the spicy bourbon, the maple spicy bourbon, or the spicy maple bourbon. It's like a tongue twister. I did not drink that juice, but I imagine it does have a little bit of heat to it as well. Yeah, if it's a not guilty verdict, it would surprise me. It would very much surprise me. My jaw would probably hit the floor, and I would blink stupidly at the camera for several seconds while I thought of exactly what to think of, because my mind couldn't get there that quickly. They should have asked for the tire, and then they could have reached the verdict. Kathleen says, my daughter got a chuckle when I told her about closing arguments banner that read losing arguments. Well, the problem with that is that my little picture of me, my superimposed picture of me, was covering some of the title. And so instead of closing, it said losing arguments. And some of them were losing arguments. At least one of them, I would say, is a losing argument, because the jury has to decide one way or another. What is the dynamite charge given to juries? Now you've got me... Are you pulling my leg? Notice the Allen charge. It sounds like you're speaking actual lawyer speak, so I'm inclined to believe you're not leading us down a road where we'll meet a punchline. But please fill us in, Matthew. I'm dying to know. They have a car they're looking for? I saw that a car was there. There was something about a car at the place that pulled up, and they kept it there. Chaos was weird. That was a reach. The fact that she spelled chaos when she was trying to remember the street name or something, that was bizarre. I heard it in the original testimony. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she spelled chaos. I'm like, why did she spell chaos? But I don't know why. But because if you go back and listen right before that chaos moment, AJ, if you watch the prosecutor, he starts and he says something like, we all know that Mr. Ortiz lives at, and he gives like the street name, and it has nothing to do with chaos. And and then he started with the chaos thing. It's like that was not the smoking gun, that just hit the home run type argument that he thought it was when he wrote that. Well, the barn owl is getting a feeding. Don't let them read the verdict if they have one till I get back. 10 minutes at most. Mississippi, they will not. If there's going to be a verdict, they will give us some time, I'm pretty sure. We're now up to 4 hours. They've had one question, wanting to view the confession video. Okay, so if they're wanting to see the confession video, they probably have not started the paperwork. And although that's not going to take very long, it will probably take half an hour or more, just because they don't want to screw it up. I mean, no one wants to make a mistake on a big thing like that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Guys, nothing cool happens until I leave. And I've got a meeting I'm late for that I need to go to. I meant to blow up Dynamite, the logjam of the deadlock. Oh, so you were making fun of us a little bit. If the jury deadlocks, the judge says, you've heard all the evidence. Now, if you can't reach a verdict, we have to bring in more citizens to hear the same evidence. Right, and that's what we had in the in that rape trial, the Hollywood actor, the rape trial that had a deadlock jury in the before Turkey Day, if I remember correctly, and before Thanksgiving. And the judge says, look, take the weekend off, come in on Monday, I want you to try again. He encourages those in the minority to reconsider their position when the jury is taking too long. But this is not too long. 3 hours is not too long. We won't have that tonight. I can imagine, after day 2, possibly an option. Holiday visit here taking place, the silly writer. Right now it's 7:43, which means it's 6:43 there. Could I deputize Mrs. R.A. to have her take over? Intriguing idea. I know she doesn't like all the buttons and things that I play with here, so I'm not sure if she would know how to stop the live stream when it was time, or switch the video. Oh, somebody just kicked the camera tripod. Again, it's a crowded room in there. Bring your phone wherever you're going. 782 gear. Great channel, but what the heck is all this pickle stuff? So annoying to some of us. I'm sorry, 782. It's I'm a pickle fan. We'll try to keep it focused on the matters at hand. Are you coming back if verdict tonight? And I would. It might be late though. Well, let me recant that. My meeting tonight, I've got another meeting. No, I don't. I don't have another meeting tonight. So I probably would come back tonight. It would be a late night stream, like an 8:30, 9 p.m. type thing on my time. All right, check your text, says Katrina. Let me check the burner phone. Let's see. I've got some from Golden Mom. Let me pull this up here. Just 1 second. I think I've got one from Little Mew, Katrina. Let's see, what else do I have? All right. No. That's me. Who said to check my text? Katrina. Yeah, it was you, Katrina. Sorry. Chocolate. Katrina. Chocolate covered pickle. And it's at a deli, like a bakery, a chocolate-covered bakery. It looks like a chocolate-covered hot dog is what it looks like. It's like a corn dog dipped in chocolate is what it. I don't doubt that it's tasty. Joellen, you've got to put God first in your life. I realize it's fun to be here, but don't miss everything on my account. That being said, I've got to go to my meeting. Let's see. Okay. The tire got loose, chased a juror who fainted. Deciding if it's capital versus just plain. I don't think that's the issue if they're looking at the confession. If they're watching the confession, then you've got to think they might be weighing the defense's arguments about the confession. Was it coerced? And if they get to watch it again, they watch it just with their own interpretation and maybe, their own discussion amongst themselves. They're not going to have the prosecution who spells out what they say is happening or the defense who spells it out. It's just going to be them and their sense of what's happening. I sense a schism in the Pickle camp. Right, chocolate might cross the line. Can you turn on your audio, says Logs W. Audio is on. The live feed from the courtroom is not on. So the courtroom is not sending anything. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to stop this feed, but I will set up another one, identical to this. You don't have to join. It'll have a timestamp on it, but I'm going to set it for like midnight or something, and I'll just go live early if it happens. You can join and talk and chat amongst yourselves, but if it goes live, I'll just come live from wherever I am. I'm going to take a device. I'll take two devices, my phone to film myself going live, and then another device to watch the live stream on. It won't have this cool setup. We won't have all the picture-in-picture stuff that we have here. I won't be able to do super chat up on the screen and things like that. But at least I'll be able to follow. That way I can go to my meeting and they can keep deliberating as needed. Does that work? Is that okay with everybody? Love that idea. Perfect. All right. So we'll do that. Two of you is all we need. Ginger gave me a thumbs up and AJ gave me the thumbs up. So I'm gonna say it's your fault if anyone else doesn't like it. This is a great thing right here. Before we go, if you need more legal content while waiting on the verdict, check out our videos. Says Matthew Harris. Matthew Harris is a huge supporter of the program, great friend of the program, has been here since just about the beginning. An actual lawyer who provides actual advice that you can actually take to the bank because it's good advice. He's got some great videos. He is another content creator on YouTube, and he has some great work out there. Please go click on that link and check it out if you would. Meanwhile, if you want to see me go live again, especially if there's a verdict that does actually come in tonight, go ahead and click the subscribe and the bell button on the channel, and we'll go live on that. But I'm gonna close this one out. I'm gonna make a new placeholder, so you'll be able to chat. I just won't be live. I'll keep an eye on it. As always, if you see something happen and I haven't gone live, do send me a message on the burner phone, the 801-513-1160 number, and I'll be able to respond to that and hop on. So thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully we'll be talking again tonight because I want to wrap this one up. I'd like to put a bow on it tonight. Christmas bow for Mr. Juan David Ortiz. All right. Thanks, guys. Just in case you forget, hug everybody you love, smile at somebody, make their day better, and please stay safe until I live stream again. Thanks.